it's working.
There's a little number going around.
Mhm.
Why?
Yeah, do you want me to read it to you?
Okay.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
I love this story.
Is it the long story of how long it took you to find the woman of your dreams? 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, still going?
Woman of my dreams ditched me. What are you talking about?
You want to talk about that then?
Or do you?
I don't know, do you?
Usually when I talk about anything to do with my love life, you groan and grizzle wildly and say that, shut the fuck up.
No, I don't. Come on, tell us a story then. Who was the woman of your dreams? How did you let her get away?
She just ditched me. Well, she thought I was gaslighting her.
What does that mean?
It means that she thought that I was making her think things that were untrue. I think it comes from a movie, like an old movie, where basically a guy tries to make a woman think she's crazy or something.
Yeah.
By trying to convince her of something that's not true.
Right. And she thought you were doing that to her?
Yeah.
About what?
Well, I don't know. I only found this out long after she ditched me. But it was upsetting on a couple of fronts. One, because I did quite like her. And two, because it felt terrible to think that someone would think that I would do that to them. So, you know, it was a double whammy. Well, actually, it was a triple whammy because, you know, I never had a leg to stand on. I never got the opportunity to defend myself. So, yeah, even if I had had a chance to defend myself, she thought everything I was saying was bullshit. So, she wouldn't have believed what I was saying anyway. So, yeah. Didn't have a leg to stand on. It's one of those things, eh? Like, she thought that there was nothing I could do, and therefore wasn't meant to be.
Perception is everything.
All right, your turn. Tell us about the one that got away.
No.
What do you mean, no? I just told you my one.
Yeah, well, you chose to.
I didn't tell you a lot about it, but I told you a little bit about it. Come on, tell us about the one that got away. You don't have to name names or give details or anything.
No.
Just be like, he was a ginger. He rode a goat. He rode his goat away.
I don't feel like that about anybody.
Really?
No.
There was. What about your unrequited crush? Like, there was a girl in my 20s who I had a massive crush on for years. Actual years. And it never went anywhere and nothing came of it and we never hooked up and we never... Nothing.
Did you tell her?
I did. It did not go well. And we have not really spoken since. And I follow her on Instagram, but I don't think we're friends on Facebook. I think I was removed, which is sad. Because, yeah, we were chummy, but, you know, never more than chummy. And then, you know, I spent all these years hoping, you know, I don't know. Well, it wasn't exactly like that because I was also seeing other people. I just had this crush, you know.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't seeing other people, and then I said something to her. In fact, it was it all just sort of randomly came to a head. I'd been messaging her earlier that night, and then I was sitting at a bus stop waiting to catch a bus home quite late at night, and she just walked past. And I said, "Yo!" I yelled out her name, and she came back, and we had a really kind of weird, awkward exchange on the sidewalk. And she said, "Oh, I'm going to go this way." And I said, "Oh, I'll walk you." And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Uh-huh." Okay, then. I knew in that moment that, you know, it's not like I was being gross or anything. It's, I was only being friendly. I wasn't insinuating anything or anything like that. But the tenor of the no said everything it needed to say. And then I think it was the next day I messaged her on Facebook to clear the air and, mentioned that I liked her, and, I hadn't mean to upset her or anything. And yeah. She messaged back and dutifully cleared the air from her side of things as well. Because, we'd been flirtatious and chatty and friendly and stuff for a long time. And yeah, and that was the end of that. It was pretty much the end of our friendship. Like, it's one of those things, like, you never know with those sort of things. Like, when I've had feelings for other people and I've been like, well, I'm not going to say anything or do anything because it'll ruin our friendship, And people are like, why? Like, just go for it. Just say something, People are always like that. Well, that's one of the times that I did say something. And it blew up spectacularly in my face. And I lost a really good friend over it. And it sucks. like, fuck. Gutting, eh? But, she's living a really good life. She's recently had a kid. She's living in Australia. Good for her. It's like anything, right? It just wasn't meant to be. That wasn't meant to be. That other girl wasn't meant to be. Every other relationship I've ever had wasn't meant to be. And now I'm sitting in your lounge, telling the world, surrounded by dogs, eating their own assholes incessantly, which makes me wonder if we should get some worming tablets or something.
They've had their worming tablets.
Oh, okay. It's just that he's been at it for 20 minutes.
Well,
He's really given it a go.
Give it a scratch.
I am not scratching your dog's anus. Like,
He might have impacted anal glands. If he keeps it up tomorrow, we'll take him to the vet.
is that something that happens with that breed?
With all dogs.
What, impacted anal glands is a normal thing?
For dogs, yeah.
Do you think that would be a turn-off? Like, do you think that maybe the reason all my relationships have failed is impacted anal glands? And no one told me? No one said...
Well, no, it's not an irritation for anyone else. It's an irritation for the dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. All right. Come on. Tell us about some failed relationship stuff. Oh, come on. You can't just... I can't just be me sharing this stuff. Nobody knows who you are. Like, tell us about something. You don't have to say any... I didn't say any details.
No.
Why not?
I don't have anything to say.
Yes, you do. You've had a rich and colourful love life over many years.
Not really.
You say that. But, we compared numbers of conquests one time and it was similar. So, I know you've told me stories. I don't want to have to start prompting you now to get you to say stuff.
Yeah. No, I don't want to. Talk about something else.
You asked me to... bastard.
Only because the clock was counting. You said you liked that story and it led on to that. It wasn't pre-planned.
You've led me down the garden path here, haven't you? So I've spilled my guts and, taken my heart out in a dumpster, and people just want to hear about one sad tale of woe from your end. Come on. Why did you and your last boy fella break up? People can't hear you shaking your head. Why did you break up? I'm not even talking about a proper relationship. Just whoever you were banging on Bumble and Tinder. Why did it stop? You can't just sit there grinning and shaking your head. Why did it stop? Did you give him the flick? Did he give you the flick? Did he have impacted anal glands? What was it? What was the reason? Did he just drink a lot of Fanta? Like, what was it? Some weird thing? Was it a big thing? Was it a little thing? I mean, it doesn't matter what it was. Obviously, it was never going to work out. So, what was the thing? Oh, come on! You're leaving me out high and dry. It's so not fair. You could change the topic just by talking. But if you sit there saying nothing, then it gives me nowhere to go.
Movie review then.
Oh, such a cop-out. Such a cop-out. I know you've got stories.
Yeah, and I don't want to share them.
Even though this guy didn't matter. You can't eat a lolly on the recording. It's torture. It's absolute torture. My absolute nails on a blackboard is eating sounds. Now we're in an enclosed space with microphones and headsets where the sound of you eating a lolly is being pumped directly into my ears.
Mm-hmm.
It's agony. The silence was better. So not fair. Alright. Give us your movie review then with your lolly in your mouth.
I watched Zombieland 2, double tap. And I thought it was really good. Really enjoyed the first one. I give the first one 8 or 9 out of 10. Probably give this one 8 or 9 out of 10.
I wonder if people can hear me cringing.
Mm.
They're probably like me. They probably hate eating sounds as well. What the fuck is this shit? It's like we're hearing about some of his emotional tragedy and like getting sucked in like it's Coronation Street or EastEnders or something. I'm in your way. And then she pops a lolly in her mouth after she won't tell anything. And yeah. Gives Zombieland 2 an 8 or 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Movie for kids, is it?
No.
Teenagers, though.
Yeah. 13 and over.
You reckon? Oh, well, I suppose if parents don't mind the language.
Language didn't stand out for me as being particularly bad.
No, but...
There were no motherfuckers like in that children's movie that we watched the other day.
There was a motherfucker.
Was there?
Yeah.
What?
It's just water off a duck's back for you because you don't hear swear words. Speaking of stories of woe, when I was last in New Zealand, I got my granddad, an Alexa speaker because he's blind.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, this is going to be cool. He can just give it voice commands and stuff. And I set it up with my Spotify account so he could listen to music that he wanted to listen to, which he thought was really cool. So he is using it the other day,
Yeah.
and
Called you?
no, and a voice comes on, and it's my voice, and I'm speaking to a woman on the phone over the Alexa speaker. And my grandfather does not like strong language, but I was using some strong language because I was saying how my headphones were fucked.
He heard the call that you and I did for the recording.
You know, the one where we talked about my gaping arsehole.
Oh dear. I don't remember talking about your gaping arsehole, but okay. How did that happen?
I assume that whatever's linked up on my phone or whatever I've listened to on my phone, and usually I check to make sure the episodes have gone up, right?
Yeah.
So I hit play on Spotify and it plays. Well, maybe what he's done is he's turned the Alexa speaker on and it's picked up wherever it left off, wherever I was listening to it. And so it's played him the episode.
An episode.
Yeah, which was us. Yeah, the other day. Yeah, not good. I got some messages from my mum about it.
You read those out.
Well, it wasn't one or two messages. I got quite a few messages. This is how it went from my mum. Says Dad rang. He had asked Alexa the time, and then on comes your voice. In a phone conversation to some girl about a taxi ride taking 20 minutes longer, and London getting back to normal, and how New Zealand and Australia were trying to form a bubble, and how New Zealand sport is affected. So he clearly listened for a while.
Yeah.
You know, no, if it had been a live phone conversation.
He didn't interrupt.
Yeah, that Granddad had been listening to. Yeah, Mum said he could hear you talking, and then it cut out, and then he rang me, and it started again. And so I could hear you over the phone while I was listening.
Go on.
She's like, well, I could hear you, and you were swearing a bit. I was trying
to remember what we said.
No,
what you said.
Trying to tell Dad to tell Alexa to cancel. And so he did that, and it worked. And then it came on again. So, yeah. So that was the first time it happened. Here's more messages from the following day.
Yeah.
From Mum. Dad went to play music on Alexa, and when he said Alexa, your voice came in again. And you were talking about walking in the mall, seeing things you don't see in New Zealand. And some more language.
Which episode was that?
I told him to unplug it and plug it in again. Do you think it's the modem? Well, it would have been the episode the other day when you called me at work.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it's doing that. And it's making me a little tentative to say anything, really. Because, it might mean that whatever I say, because I haven't...
Grandpops is listening.
Well,
hello, Grandad.
Well, the thing
How are you doing?
I have not told my family about this show.
You told your sister.
My sister knows.
Yeah. Well, she's your family.
Yeah, but she won't be listening to it.
Oh.
By the way, my niece had her birthday the other day.
Yeah.
And New Zealand's been on lockdown, and my sister was extremely worried about not being able to get her presents and what have you. Well, New Zealand went to level 3.
Yeah.
The week of the birthday, which meant that certain stores opened.
Yeah.
Not all stores. Not things like toy stores. But some electronics stores. So she sent me a photo of my niece with her new stereo.
Oh,
You know, making do with what was available. So, yeah. But you know, she got a very cool hedgehog cake. My sister did get her a spread, obviously things from the supermarket, so they had plenty of lollies and chippies and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, got her a hedgehog cake. I don't know if that was something you could get at the supermarket. I don't think my sister made it. I don't think she's got those skills because it's a very good-looking cake. It's a hedgehog with a little party hat
yeah.
holding a candle.
Have you seen there's a photo montage on Facebook of awful hedgehog cakes? With one of those, on a rating of 1 to 9, which hedgehog cake are you? Like the Britney Spears photo one that did the rounds a while ago.
Yeah.
There's a hedgehog cake one. You have to find it and send it to her so she can.
Which hedgehog cake are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking it up right now because what the hell else am I going to do? Fun fact about Zombieland 2.
Yeah.
Do you know who Leah Thompson is?
No.
So she was the mum in Back to the Future, who fell in love with her own son.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah. So she was in Howard the Duck as well. So she was obviously quite famous for a while, and she was in lots of movies. She had her own sitcom in the 90s.
Did she?
Yeah, the one where she was an architect or a drawer or something. I can't remember. With so many of those sitcoms, they kind of gloss over what the person's job is. It just gets on with their social interactions.
I don't remember that at all.
They have a background job. But anyway, so in Zombieland 2,
Yeah.
they meet an airhead of a girl who wears pink and is very, very ditzy, called Madison.
Yeah.
She is the daughter of Leah Thompson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now you say it, I kind of think, oh yeah.
I don't see the physical resemblance in any way.
Oh yeah, face definitely.
No, see, she looks heaps like my friend Tiff. That's what I reckon. And it's like, it's uncanny. It's just like my friend's in a movie. It's cool. Except my friend's really intelligent and probably doesn't drink paint. I have found the Witch Hedgehog Cake picture of you.
Yeah.
These are frightening.
Yeah.
Truly frightening.
So send it to your sister.
If these were...
She got off lightly. She did well. She did well. But she got off lightly. She did well with her hedgehog cake.
Like, if someone, dished this up to a child on their birthday, any of these cakes, the child would have nightmares for years.
Yeah.
So many of them are just a cake with, chocolate fingers
jammed
stabbed in the top.
Yeah.
But then with, tooth lollies at the front for a mouth. But the tooth lollies look really real. And then they've got,
googly eyes.
Yeah, the eyes are, made of, M&Ms or something, so they're really googly and on top of it. They look horrible. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, God. Okay. Well, we've heard about a lot of my misfortune today.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to share some misfortune?
My boss had a heart attack yesterday.
That's not your misfortune. That's his.
Well, it's unfortunate for me in that we've had one conversation this year and we won't be having any more for the next 4 weeks.
What is that a bad thing?
Well, we just re-established the lines of communication and they've been cut again. I imagine he'll have forgotten all about me again by the time he gets back.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag in that I don't have a huge amount of work to do. But nobody's chasing me for anything. So,
Okay. If your boss is out of commission, does that make you the boss?
No.
Oh. I thought you were pretty high up the ladder.
Yeah, but there's 6 other people at the same level as me, reporting to him. He manages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people.
Okay. So any of you could be the next boss?
Yeah, it wouldn't be me.
Why wouldn't it be you?
Because I'm the youngest and female.
Oh, that's right, Britain.
Yeah,
Yeah, Britain's still got a bug up its ass about gender stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, be nice when this country finally gets over that little hurdle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a well, yeah. I put it down to a generational thing. In that, there are uh, people who I think would know better, like women, in the next tier of the organisation above me, who look at me, look at somebody, a chap who reports to me, who's probably 5 or 6 years older than me, but is male, and despite the fact that he is a deputy head and I am a head in our job title terms, she didn't recognise that he would work for me and that she might need to consult me before she gave him a task to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of the gender stuff in the UK is weird because it's not just the men.
Yeah.
It's the women too. It's an
Yeah.
ingrained
Yeah. Yeah.
cultural thing.
Yeah.
And there's been
It's there's a huge amount of I had to be one of the boys to get to where I've got to, so I'm going to carry on being one of the boys.
that's how I think of you.
No, I haven't done that.
Swinging your big dick around.
Yeah. Oh,
That one's for
yeah.
Granddad. I well it
Well,
is
we can talk
weird.
about you swinging your big dick around for Grandad.
I've hardly done that today. I did it for a little bit because I wanted to catch some fish in the pond, but that was it. Once I had my fish,
Yeah.
put it
Put it
away.
away. Did you give it a polish before you put it away? You need to,
The fish.
No, your dick.
Uh,
You gotta look after your tools, man.
I dipped it in ginola.
You dipped it in what?
It's like bleach.
Oh.
Yeah, for cleaning toilets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave it a swish. Yeah.
Cool.
So, you
Is
feel.
that a lesson out of Trump's book?
Well, I mean, you feel it go fizzy and then sting and then it goes numb, and that's how you know the process is done.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's good. It's very effective. Also keeps the dogs off it, which is good. Yeah. Going back to gender stuff in this country. Yeah, it struck me several times the way that English women have behaved, and it's been really peculiar because they haven't, you get that sense that they're not helping themselves, but also that they're not even aware of it, like because it's a cultural norm, like they're not even cognitively thinking about it, and it's really different from New Zealand where we have a lot of really strong and empowered women, and it is quite different, and it's caught up with me in a number of ways. One, because I've been seen as weak for not giving, for giving way to women and things like that, like which is just normal in New Zealand. Everyone's equal, and plenty of women are stronger, smarter, and better than me. Like that's normal. But here in the UK, I've given way to women, and it's been seen as weak, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like it's been, there's so many like old world things here that keep catching me out. Dating is one of them. Like go on a date in New Zealand, it's typically you go Dutch, right? The man doesn't pay for dinner because the women are empowered. They want to pay for their own dinner, and they want, there's no expectations. Here, you go on a date, the expectation is that the man pays, and also that because he paid, there's some sort of transaction owing on the part of the woman because the man paid for dinner. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, firstly, lady, you don't owe him anything. I don't care how fancy the restaurant was that he took you to. You do not have to kiss him or sleep with him or any of this crap. Like, that's such bullshit. And on the other hand, if I go on a date with someone and we're just getting to know each other, fuck no, I don't want to pay for your dinner. Like, You probably have a better job than me. You probably earn more money than me. What's this old world nonsense about me
Yeah.
paying for your food? Like, I think you can take care of yourself. Like, it's just, yeah. So, I've been seen as cheap. So, I've been seen as weak and I've been seen as cheap. And, it's really weird because these are cultural differences that exist between our countries.
No, I don't think the date thing is a cultural thing at all. I mean, I don't think it's a difference. I wouldn't expect a guy to pay, and I wouldn't if he did pay, I wouldn't expect to have to. That gave him a right for anything.
No.
I think
But
you're
I,
going on dates with either very, very old women or you're travelling back in time to the 70s.
No,
I think you.
it's not that at all, and it's not dates that I've been on either.
Mm.
This is talking to people that I work with or friends that I know in this country who go on dates and talking to them about their experiences. And yeah, I've found it quite upsetting at times. Like, and it's just like people basically saying, "Oh, I just slept with them because I didn't know what else to do. I
Oh,
didn't know
it's
how to get out. I
disgusting.
didn't know how to get out of the situation, so I just slept with them."
Call an Uber.
It's like so, like yeah, like all then, and all their friends sitting around them going, "Yeah, I know how that is." No, fuck this shit. Like, what's wrong
Oh,
with
you
you?
hang
Like,
out with some skanky people.
they're not skanky people. Like, it's just that, like, it's the thinking around it. Like, it doesn't occur to them that they could just leave or say no or it's. I think part of it is that 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 English will to avoid an altercation as well. Like not wanting to have an argument at any cost. So rather than argue about the fact that you're gonna go now, you sleep with someone.
Oh,
Like
yuck.
it's just all so terrible. Yeah. I don't necessarily lump you in with the rest of your countrymen because you are the odd you are a black sheep. We talked about this the other day. I think you would do better down under. I think you'd enjoy the sun. I think you'd enjoy the surf. I think you'd enjoy the men. and women. And women. I'm not gonna, you know, hedge you into a corner there. But yeah. I think, your sensibilities, you're not the same person that I met 3 years ago anyway. Like to me, you're
It's
much
been
more.
3 years?
Yeah, or I think so, maybe. But you seem much more out of your shell now, and something, or is it just that we've known each other longer, or something?
Yeah, I suppose I am a different person. Been through a lot.
Yeah.
Been to a number of places. Done some things I never thought I'd do. Been some places I never thought I'd go. What's the dog looking at?
I don't know what he's looking at, but he is using me as a ladder to look at whatever he's looking at. I like it how the animals see us simply as structures to be utilised
Well, you're under the blanket. He
as
doesn't see it as you, does he?
as ladders
He's just
or
leaning on the
bridges.
blanket. He doesn't recognise there's a person underneath the blanket. If you weren't tucked up in your baby onesie and your booties, then under your blanket, he'd probably not see you as part of the furniture.
Hmm. Oh, he's still a dick anyway. Yeah, I am a little bit tucked up. I just low energy today and just wanted to cabbage and.
Because you were up till
nothing.
4 in the night waiting for the dog to do a poo.
Oh no, I just could not sleep last night. We had that big full moon, and I just could not get to sleep.
Yeah, I keep telling you, you can't make yourself go to sleep. You can make yourself stay awake. So
Yeah.
the way to shift your body clock is to make yourself get up.
Yeah, my body clock doesn't work like that though. So
Yeah, I keep
Like-
hearing you say that. I don't keep hearing you
because
try anything new.
look, I don't know how many times we have to go through this, but my circadian rhythm is not the same as your circadian rhythm. Like, it's a normal, natural thing. About something like under 10% of the population have this different circadian rhythm. It's known as waking jet lag or something. I'm going to look up what the actual name of it is, if I can. But
Well, stop moaning about it then. Either accept it and,
it's
make
no.
your life fit around whatever is your
Why do you think I
natural
freelance?
circadian. Well, you're going to struggle to do trains then, aren't you? Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, sticking to a timetable.
Well, again, maybe not if I'm, own the trains place. Do I sound professional? I should do. But I can't find it. I don't want to be like sitting on my phone while we record. But my circadian rhythm is later in the day. It's perfectly natural. It's perfectly normal. And what happens is, as soon as it's interrupted, it resets to later in the day. It just always does. I had a couple of shifts where I worked till after midnight in this past week, and it takes me a while to wind down after work. So suddenly I'm awake till 3, then I'm awake till 4, then I'm awake till 5. It just happens. And then I've put in a big effort today, even though I'm exhausted, to try and stay awake the entire day so that I'll sleep tonight.
The entire day? You didn't get up till after lunch?
Yeah, I know, but I didn't go to sleep till almost 6 a.m. I just could not sleep. And we're going to have a massive full moon again tonight. At the moment it's cloudy, which I really hope stays. But, I struggle with sleep. I've always struggled with sleep. It's been like this ever since I was a teenager. So, yeah. My dad's the same.
Yeah, I know.
It's supposed to be genetic. It's just how it is. So you can work really, really hard to reset it, but it just goes back to whatever your natural clock is. You can't fight it. It's a real
Your
pain.
natural what?
Your natural clock.
All right, I just wanted to make sure Grandad heard that properly.
Yes. I found it. It's called delayed sleep phase disorder. So it says here more often known as delayed sleep phase syndrome, or also delayed sleep wake phase disorder, is a chronic dysregulation of a person's circadian rhythm compared to those of the general population and societal norms. So there you go. It affects your sleep, but also your peak periods of alertness, which is what I always am. I'm always way more alert in the evening than I am at any other time of the day. They think that people with the disorder have a circadian rhythm that's significantly longer than 24 hours. I don't know if that's true, but all the other bits and pieces that they list here seem about bang on. Affected people often report that while they do not get to sleep until the early morning, they do fall asleep around the same time every day. However, they find it very difficult to wake up in time for a typical school or work day. If they are allowed to follow their own schedules, i.e. sleeping from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m., sounds familiar, their sleep is improved and they may not experience any excessive daytime sleepiness. Attempting to force oneself onto a daytime society's schedule has been compared to constantly living with jet lag, which is why the syndrome has often been called social jet lag. Yeah, it's a real thing. Dissing me, making fun of me for having a real thing that's wrong with me. Yeah. Anyway, before we go, do you want to look at your dog? He's working his asshole right on top of you. Don't make that noise. People will think that it's him, not you. Anyway, before we go, this was episode 49, by the way.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Tomorrow's a bank holiday.
Is it?
It is the 75th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day.
It's also our 50th episode.
Yeah.
So we have to plan.
Crack open the champers.
Well, I think we have to actually plan something for tomorrow. I think we have to make more of an effort tomorrow.
Play a game.
No. Those episodes are terrible.
We've still got 2 games left to play.
Yeah, but let's not play them on air because it's agonisingly painful. The poor people who have to listen to it. I mean, they've got to listen to this. This isn't a good episode. This is just us sitting on the couch in the dark.
Yeah, well.
Covered in dogs.
Can't all be fun, can they?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Tomorrow we should make a bigger effort to try and make tomorrow's episode not suck.
Okay, perhaps we should do it in fancy dress.
Okay. Whatever.
I'll get that big white towel and make you nappy.
Make me a nappy?
Yeah.
What? So your idea of me being in fancy dress is to come dressed like a baby?
Yeah.
Ugh. I think we get to pick our own fancy dress.
I think with a big white nappy and a big white hat on, you'd like a bonnet, like that you had on the other day for your work phone call. I think you just look like a big cracking. Big cracking. Some woolly socks, thick woolly socks in baby blue. Big white nappy and your bonnet. Be set.
You've got problems, lady. Anyway, the big plan tonight is to get some sleep and then return tomorrow for our amazing 50th episode.
Yep.
And put on a show. We shall put on a show. This is put on a show. Are you going to put on a show?
You're talking to me?
Yes! Who else am I going to be talking to?
Don't know, yourself.
Well, it feels like I'm talking to myself sometimes.
Mm.
Take it very hard, you know.
Do so.
Yeah. Well, I'd much rather be talking to y'all. You can't just... We have to do an official goodbye. You can't just hit stop on the recorder. People hate that sort of thing.
Go on then.
Well, what's your goodbye line?
Bye.
What else you got?
See you tomorrow.
And anything else to add?
Bank holiday tomorrow.
In the UK?
Yep.
Where none of our listeners are. But good luck to everyone else everywhere around the world.
Everyone else around Europe, you should be celebrating.
Why are they celebrating?
Because, it's 75 years since the end of the Second World War.
Ah, I get it now.
Victory in Europe Day. VE Day.
Right. Oh, well. Well done, Europe.
Yeah.
People can't see me with a thumbs up. But,
Yeah. I kind of find the whole thing a bit distasteful, given that we're about to leave Europe, but never mind.
Well, it's distasteful anyway, because I don't think that there's ever really a good time to sort of
celebrate a war.
Celebrate war, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's one of those tricky things, like Remembrance Days.
Celebrating peace, yes.
Where you remember the horror and that people died and it's solemn and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's really important because you want to prevent these things into the future. But when that morphs into celebrating the soldiers and what they did and all that kind of stuff, I think it gets really distasteful. But I don't know. I haven't really been, I don't know about this holiday. So
no, well, they moved the bank holiday. Normally it's like everyone else's May Day, but ours is always the first Monday in May. But it got moved by the Tory government end of last year to be the VE Day instead. Yeah. And of course now everyone's seeing it as a celebration, hopefully, of the end of lockdown. It's street parties and flags out and bunting out and cakes and things.
Virus out.
Yeah.
Virus straight out into the community. Huge second wave a coming.
Yeah.
And you can hear that wave a coming. Chugging down the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. Well, good luck to everyone who's going to be experiencing all of that. We will return tomorrow, not with a report on any of those things, I suspect, because we'll just be staying inside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, were we supposed to go out and clap? When was that?
We missed it.
But yeah, back to mirror. See you then.
Bye.